Hi, this is Oshi and this is gonna be, surprise surprise, another unboxing. And yes, the box is sideways because I refuse to go farther away from the screen because you will be more interested in the actual cards than the box, and the box is big. It's almost an A5 notebook size. So yeah, I wasn't feeling like going too far away so that the box can fit, because that's not that important. I can't believe it, but this is already part of my summer set, because I'm starting to use my summer decks from May, and it's already almost May when I'm shooting this video, which is like ridiculous, because where the F did the time go? So yeah, I wanted to get some new decks for summer, although I wasn't planning on buying them this year, but then the Hungarian government came out with a new regulation regarding how much we have to pay after things imported from July, the 1st of July, and everything is going to be much more expensive. So I have to do some quick buyings for decks that I absolutely would like to use, because I will have to figure out ways to get the decks, and that will cause delays and stuff. So yeah, awesome. Whatever. So yeah, I bought this one and the Oracle of the Mermaids as well this year instead of next one, but hopefully it's gonna be fun and I will have time to use them, because I have a few new decks for summer season as well. But anyway, let's stop about that because you don't really care. So I know that there were quite a few cards in this deck, and that I was curious about. Some people describe this deck as too Disney for them, so it wasn't. It's not for people who like more diversity in body type and I guess how pretty somebody is. Even though that sounds horrible, because seriously, how attractive are we is usually just depends on the other person, and personal taste is really just personal. And I'm not saying that how other people perceive us is defy us, but when we say someone is attractive, it's really just based on our own personal taste. So does it make sense what I'm trying to say, that everyone is different, but this is usually the more commonly accepted, or no, not accepted, defined kind of beauty. Okay, I should stop because that's a whole different kind of rant. But I heard many good things about the deck. Oh, it's pretty. And I've seen walkthroughs, of course, and oh god, this book is heavy and big. Jeez, can you see? This is my finger. Okay, I know I'm too close and I have small hands, but this is about, okay, where is my ruler? Because we're professionals here. It's more than a centimeter. It's a 1.5 centimeter thick book, so I'm expecting things from the book. Here are the cards. Of course, they had to be shrink wrapped because that's fun. The usual cardboard things which can be removed as far as I can see. And it's magnetic, which we appreciate. I hope the inside can be removed, but let's take a quick look at the guidebook first. Okay, I put some stones and a crystal in the corner, so hopefully I'm not going to be too out of frame for you guys. I know some, oh, I don't like it when they do that. Oh, that's pretty. So we have, okay, so the author, I forgot to say, is quite interesting page, Lisa Robertson, and it's illustrated by Julie Dillon. We're 4 minutes in and I haven't even touched the deck. Wow. Oh, we have pretty contents with illustrations. There's a lot of illustrations. It's a very pretty guidebook with all the colors, and I will read through it when I start to work with the deck. So how you use the cards, I guess, and then the major arcana with the illustration and Is there a description how it's been made? So there's pretty much a little tale about the illustration, which is cool. There's an upright meaning, and there's a reversed, which I appreciate, and I'm effing up the decoration, which is not really a decoration. So let's not stop ourselves on screen, because that's not fun. Okay, the cards. It's quite it's a very, very thin cardstock. I'm not a cardstock snob, but this doesn't feel too substantial. It feels like it's going to get destroyed quickly, which is not very good. Though I'm not refill shuffle my deck, so maybe, you know, if I'm being careful with it, I can make sure that it's not going to get destroyed. But yeah, it could use some reinforcement for sure. So the backs are really nice. I will have to obviously edge the deck, because we don't leave decks unedged around here. But let's check. So you should be, I mean, yeah, you're quite, I think it's good. Okay, is it kind of feels like it's a bit metallic. I don't know if you can see, but it has like scales that show up only if the light is reflective. I hope I'm, you know, turning it in some way that you can see. But the Fool looks like Ariel. I mean, I know she's blonde, but it's still the same feeling as, you know, leaving everything you know behind, and becoming something entirely different. And I think that's a perfect illustration for the Fool, because you just don't know if you're gonna be able to live that different life, or you're gonna, you know, fall and die and everything else. And but you have to take that leap of faith, and you have to try, because if you don't try, then you're just stay stuck in something that you already know it's not necessarily working. So this was one of the cards that I really, really liked how this was depicted. And one of the other things that I liked was how fire was represented in a water deck, because that was quite interesting. Okay, the Magician is a lady, which, I mean, I like both. But yeah, I mean, I was trying to think if I have a preference for male or female, but to be honest, I don't mind either, or as it sounds like, I don't care. It's just, if the illustration is good, then I'm happy with either. Maybe that's better. Because I care for seeing someone who's powerful, and I like that she's older based on her hair, because that usually, or should mean, you know, more wisdom and using your power better, which is cool. And I like these little fishes rolling around the wand or staff she has. She has elf ears. Are mermaids elves in a way, or is this a new thing? Did she have? No, she had human ears. Okay, but she has everything she needs, and focusing her energy to create something, you know, to evoke a spell, which I really like. And I like how you can see movement in the card. Even though it's a still image, you can still feel the current underneath. And I only saw the ocean a few times in my life, 2 or 3, 2 separate trips. So I can say that I have a deep connection with the ocean, because I've never lived close enough to one. But we have huge lake here, and I spent a lot of summers when I was a child in water. And obviously human beings, you know, we are made of water, so we have a calling to the water, but I still appreciate the feeling that how this could feel. Yeah, I probably just forgot half of what I meant to say. Okay, so High Priestess, my card. Let's see, she has a beautiful moon. Interesting. You know, she's the opposite. I mean, she has dark hair, but I like how she has a lot of things on her table as well. And like I said, movement with the air element represented. Interesting. And no book, you know, so she's actively doing something, not just sitting down and observing, which is interesting because that's how I read the card, though I can argue that she's looking into secrets of, I don't know, universe or whatever, so she's still observing. But it still feels kind of like too close to the Magician in a way, that they are both seems to create something. But I think my understanding of the card will just override that and only pick the additional meanings that I want to pick, because we get to be picky. I like this Empress. She's beautiful. And I like the fact that she's pregnant. I know that a lot of people don't care for it or don't like it, but there has to be a place for pregnancy, I mean actual pregnancy in the tarot as well, because I know that a lot of people can't be pregnant, or they have, or they choose to not have children, but there are those who have, and there are plenty of cards with similar energy, like all the queens who are not pregnant. So in this case, I'm partial to pregnant empresses. But you know, that's completely just my way of appreciating the cards. But I like how she's, you know, sitting outside of water, yet still confident. And because her leg or tail is in the water, you can still feel the connection to water, to her element. I mean, okay, so he's older, but not that much older, because one thing that I don't like is when the Empress is so young, like in the Heaven and Earth tarot, the Empress looks really young, in a disturbing kind of young. When you put her in next to the Emperor, I don't like that actually. I mean, at first I don't think I made a comment on the first initial walkthrough, but after using the deck I was like, that's the middle-aged kind of way of looking at how young girls are paired with older men, and you know, we don't stand for that. So I like that they don't have such an obvious age difference. And he's in great shape. But he's very comfortable, he has resources, very nonchalant ships. I can't really talk, it seems. The Hierophant. I know she looks Disney princessy, but she's not that young, and her library is beautiful. And in case you're wondering, there are books that are waterproof, obviously. And I like that she uses a quill. The Lovers, which is more focusing on, interestingly, finding your other side. It could be, you know, it could be self-love because she's looking into the mirror, or it could be because, I mean, I don't want to say they're, you know, lovers, because they're too similar, and it's more like Ariel in Two Lives. But it could also mean that, you know, finding your soulmate, someone who is like you in a way, and in a different dimension. If I want to go there, I'm, you know, not with the creepy stuff, just finding that connection that connects you through different times and places, though I really think it's just about self-love because she's too similar to the other girl. But it's quite interesting that which one of them, you know, loves the other more, or who needs to accept someone, or what is this all about. So I think I'm going to check the lovers later because that's quite interesting. Okay, the Chariot with seahorse kind of horse. And it's interesting that there are two mermaids who are trying to tame the Chariot. You know, not the other way around, like one in charge and two who's trying to go different directions. I'm quite curious about this one as well, but I'm not going to, you know, stop and check everything, because then we're gonna really sit here because, oh Jesus. Okay, I'm trying to be quicker. So strength, I like that because it, for me, it suggests that kind of strength when you need to stand up for someone who's weaker than you. Because even though this is a huge animal, because of all the oh god, these things which I can't remember the name right now, fishnets, let's go with that. You know, they are trapping it, so she needs to have. That's cool. I don't remember about the strength card. The Hermit looks like kind of like an octopus person. I mean, obviously with a lot of muscles, because you need muscles. But I like that because octopuses are smart. Octopi, isn't that the plural? Wheel of Fortune. It is an obvious choice, but I still think it's a good one. Because who's standing here, you know, who's actually steering the wheel? Are you, or is it fate? That's a question and I'm thinking about a lot lately. Justice with little Neos. Are they called? I know what they called in Hungarian, but the direct translation is oh god, words. I'm not gonna Google it. Clownfish. So are they clownfishes? I think that's right, the official name. But I like that because they, you know, they live together, these two as well, so they need to find a balance. Interesting. So that's what initially drew me to the deck, not just the pretty art, because I'm over just, you know, pretty art. If I can't use it, if I don't get more meaning of something like the Justice with, you know, a tide rolling over, then I'm not interested. But this deck seems to have such layers, you know, it's multi-layered, at least that's how I think, and I feel like it will work. Because here's the Hangman. Usually this card is like, you put yourself in this situation and you're the one who can actually turn around and make yourself free, change your point of view, blah blah blah. I mean, I read that way, but obviously he was caught, but did he allow them to catch him, or because he doesn't seem too worried, so worried so he might have, you know, wanted to come out of the surface and see things differently for himself, to learn something about it. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. That is one of those where we have to take responsibility for what we're doing to the planet. I don't know how we can start actually doing that when the upper part of the world, who has the money and the power, doesn't think the same, but we need to do something. Temperance is beautiful. It's more magical than usually all the cards, and you know, she's out of the water, because then what would you do? Pouring water in water, but I like that one a lot. The Devil. And I appreciate this card because, you know, this mermaid is in the cage, so you're like, okay, this card is about the mermaid, but isn't it looks like that we're standing here looking at a trapped mermaid and all the money? So aren't we the ones who need to stop doing what we're doing and free the mermaid, and not give in to the temptation of the money that we can get from something that's clearly immoral? At least that's what this deck or card is make me think of. The Tower. Usual tower, but I like it. It has everything I need except anyone jumping out, but it's not necessary, to be honest. The Star is beautiful as well. Signals hope in quite a literal way, which I appreciate. I really like the greens and the blues, and I'm just sucker for that color combination, so no surprising. And yeah, interesting, the moon is a siren. Which can be interesting if it is, because they were tempting men into their death. So it's about being careful, you know. Be careful, don't listen to everything and believe everything, because it might not be how it seems or feels, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased with the way it's illustrated. I feel more effort went into this, even though it's not an actual Disney deck. Then, for example, I'm not being mean here, but for the Nightmare Before Christmas and the, what was the other one, Darkwood, those kind of feel like the Disney, you know, decks, and I feel much more effort in this one than in the Darkwood, which is not necessarily a bad deck, just, you know, in comparison. The Sun. Yeah, I don't have a problem with these children because they are playing with all the animals. It really seems like it's happy. And you know, the sun is there even underwater. Judgment. It's kind of traditional, but in a way not. So yeah, I mean, because she's breaking through this glass, it could be, you know, her soul finally leaving, not being trapped, or reborn. You know, reborning is the word. Oh, what is this? You know, finally being who she meant to be, which is cool. The word. Being an actual word. I like this one a lot as well. Can we, you know, heal the word like that? That would be cool. It's missing the usual 4 astrological sign association, as far as I can see. I don't see them anywhere, but I think if you know, use the tarot, you automatically know that those are in this card, if you even use them, because not everybody uses astrology as well. I mean, I'm still just learning them, so. Ace of Cups with a beautiful goblet full of living things, and which I like, actually. You know, it's not about just water, but it's about something that has life. So far, I'm very, very much liking this deck. 2 of Cups. I like this one because they are clearly very different from each other, human and mermaid, and they can still find and choose each other and work on creating something equal. Because she can't leave the water, but he can't live in it, so he found a way to be with her, even though, you know, they can't be in the same element. And I really like how the water is depicted. Is it digital art or is it painted? Who the hell knows, right? Three of Cups. Having a tea party underwater. I like the dynamic movement in the cards. I really like that one. Four of Cups. Oh, that's a good one. I mean, not necessarily the being alcoholic part, but just that you can be, because, you know, I don't read the card as being bored, and he's not bored. He looks more depressed than anything. So it's very interesting, because the offer is there, but obviously he's not seeing that. Oh, Five of Cups. Are we losing a friend? Let's pretend not. Six of Cups. I like how they are, you know, having fun. The expressions are really cute and childlike, but not in a bad way. Just having fun when you're a little older, because you have to find that. Are there six of them? No. Interesting. Yeah, oh, because one of them has two. Okay. The seven. Oh, which one is this, right? And it's, oh, it looks like she's offering this pearl, so she didn't come empty-handed. She's offering something she already have for something she would like to have. That's very interesting, because this pearl could represent your effort and time you're willing to put into something. You just don't know what to choose, which one would, you know, give you back the most. I like that one. Eight of Cups. Oh, finally realizing that you can't pretend to be someone who's, you know, who you are not, even though you would really like that, or you were happy in that place, but that's not you, so you need to, you know, move on. See, this is a very good deck. I'm very, very happy with it. Except the cardstock. The cardstock is still... Why is it so bad? I'm used to not being, you know, this flimsy. I'm just trying to see who made this deck. Llewellyn. It's a Llewellyn deck. Is it normal for Llewellyn? I think that's my first from them. Nine of Cups, okay. Oh, she looks like a witch, sea witch, with all the magical potions. Can I be a sea witch? It sounds fun. Ten of Cups. Okay, I just want to be powerful, let's be honest. So maybe I shouldn't be. Who knows what would happen. Okay, Ten of Cups. Oh, and it's more about friendships and community with this one. I like that one as well. You know, being part of something bigger than you. Oh, the Page of Cups with little goldfishy who's levitating. I mean, come on, the goldfish can levitate, because that was not jumping. Knight of Cups, and someone mentioned, I don't know, I can't remember who it was, but someone mentioned that this figure reminded them of Brienne from Game of Thrones, and you know, I cannot unsee that, and I'm perfectly fine with that, because she is a very good Knight of Cups. The Queen, and she's quite similar to the Empress, right? I mean, let's check. The tattoos. I was thinking that she has the same tattoos. Or similar, not exactly the same. Signaling that, you know, there's a connection between the empresses, no, the empress and the queens, which is cool. I mean, okay, it's slippery, but we'll see how the other cards are. But I like her. I like her smile. I mean, her face, the expression is such welcoming and understanding, if that makes sense, expression. The King of Cups. Cool. It looks cool. Okay, and we're in the Ace of Wands, and like I said, I really like how the fire is depicted in this deck. Okay, I don't know where this is, but I'm gonna be going with, this is lava and this is underneath, underwater. Ha, I guess I was right? Okay, I watch a lot of lava streams these days, so I know my lava. I mean, the way it looks. Two of Wands with really cool tattoos. Making a decision. Should you leave? Should you stay? Will the volcano erupt? Okay, interesting. The Three of Wands is not how I usually think about the tree, because that's starting a journey, but she looks more like someone who's focusing on what she should choose, which is interesting, because I think, yeah, the Ostara Tarot did the same with the tree. I don't think I can find it, because why would I be that lucky, right? So the Ostara, as you can see, it's the similar concept on here as well, because the frog is holding the tree sticks and it's choosing from the tree, and I kind of have the same, like using the tree stuff and using that oh god, words, lens to focus on something. And I have that in the two, so interesting that it's the second deck that kind of do the same. Four of Wands, pretty traditional, but I don't mind. It looks pretty, isn't it? I mean, it must be beautiful to be in such place. And again, a mermaid and a human being. The Five, with enough, you know, firepower to deal with everything. And interestingly, they seem to be on the same side in this particular card, so you know, you can clearly tell that they are not against each other. The Six, I mean, she's clearly in love with him, come on. Ooh, look at these colors. This orange and green, the fire, that looks really cool. Seven of Wands. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just in the neighborhood. But they're gonna protect everything. They need to. I like the expression on the diver's face. The Eight, that's very, very cool. What more, you know, power and movement you need than a volcano erupting. And again, the fire is so pretty, and it doesn't feel out of space, even though, you know, this is a clearly watery deck. Nine of Wands. The 10. Very good, because she's not just, you know, looking like she's carrying more than she should, but it could be that she's carrying exactly as much as she needs right now, because that's her responsibility to get these sticks where they need to go. Okay, Page of Wands. Yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more quicker, sorry, but these cards are really good. The Knight. Ooh, I mean, look at that. Liquid lava with the Queen of Wands. Very interesting. And does she have tattoos? No, she doesn't. But he does have tattoos. And he is kind of like, not a mermaid, but a shark. Is there a word for half shark, half people? Must be right. Someone please comment down below if you're watching. Because I will forget that I was wondering. But you can stop the video and comment it. And then return and watch it. Ace of Pentacles. I like simple pentacles. They look cool. Okay, we have a bunny who's juggling with the Two of Pentacles. Oh, on a fish. Okay. That's interesting. The Three with fairies and other beings, like half frog, half fairy. I like that one. It's really, you know, very cool teamwork. Four of Pentacles. Oh, and we haven't even reached the Swords, where I have my favorite one. So 4. Oh, kind of interesting, you know. She's a bit showing off her wealth as well. 5. Oh, that's very good as well. 6. That's really cool. Who's giving it to whom? Or are they sending these out, you know, together? So that they might find those who will need it. Oh, and the 7 with expecting a baby. That's it. That's new. I mean, I don't think I've seen it, but I don't mind. I mean, ever since my nephew was born, I, just as an outsider, still know how much effort goes into raising a child. I mean, I thought I knew, but witnessing it firsthand is quite different. 8 of Pentacles. Everyone is working. The 9. She looks a bit scary, not gonna lie. But I like how this is all, you know, safe and secured. 10. Definitely the legacy and, you know, family, having everything you need. The Page, I think that's our first rainbow, right? Could be. Oh, it's a weekend. Everyone is out and about. 9 of Pentacles. The Knight is writing, because she's making observations. Cool. Ooh, I like this Queen. She has tattoos as well. Interesting that she's using the Pentacle as either not shielding, right? Or even though the hand position would suggest shielding, but it's more like, from looking at what's happening with the Pentacle, is more like boosting the energy up, It looks like obsidian, isn't it? Not like I know what obsidian does, but okay, the king. Very cool ring you have there. And we have my favorites. Suit, the sword. Ooh. Okay, that part looks like Korean with the li. I can't see anything else, but if you know Korean, you know what I mean. That's how my name ends. I mean, or. Oh no, that's not how my name. What am I even talking about? Just ignore that. Two of Swords. Even though they are, you know, going against each other, they are smiling, so it just feels like, you know, let's decide a conflict with not a real but a pretend sword fight, because I don't think, you know, they are trying to hurt each other. Oh, yeah, Three of Swords. The Four. And the, you know, the suit for the swords are air, but it's frozen water in this one. Which I don't mind, because I read the suit as winter, so perfectly. Working for me perfectly. The Five. Oh. I didn't even realize that the penguin was like, oh. I'm curious about this meaning as well. The Six. Oh yeah, leaving. In a different ride. I like this one. It's one of my favorites from the sword suits, because, you know, you're being sneaky. You know you shouldn't do this. You know you shouldn't take the swords, because you're gonna fight in a way that you shouldn't fight, but it's too tempting and you're gonna do that. The Eight. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 3 and 4, and there's a 8. Even though, how would that help her when her hand is behind her back? Not really, right? But whatever. Let's pretend that's help her. I don't think, but I'm not someone who can, you know, get away. The 9. Oh yeah. Did this person do something with this one? That's why the Guild of Sleepless Nights. The 10. With the soul leaving the body. For me, it's important that the Ten of Swords actually signals and signifies that this was an ending, because the way that I read the suit is not a you know, there's no continuation from here. This is something that had to end, and it ended, and it was bad, and you will continue, you will, you know, be something new after this is happening, but the situation itself had to die. That part of you that wasn't working had to die. So I don't really like Ten of Swords cards when that is not there for me. But you know, this is just personal taste. The Page, very curious about the sword. Ooh, look at that armor. That looks really cool. That would actually protect her head or a neck quite nicely. Oh, the Queen. The Queen is beautiful and very poised, you know, collected and calm, and knows how that she will only use the sword when it's needed, but she's ready to use it, so she's not afraid. It's a very good Queen of Swords. Okay, the Knight, the King of Swords. I was just thinking about how it looks like it's the Knight. It's in the middle of a snowstorm that he cast, right? With his words, maybe even. Interesting. That's also a bit different than the usual ones. So let's see what that Lovers mean. But so far I'm very pleased with this deck, and I don't think I would, you know, not be able to use it. I'm quite confident that I will get a lot of, what am I doing, readings out of it. So okay. So you don't need the card, but let's see. Yeah, so it's about, you know, relationships with ourselves. So obviously it's not incesty. I didn't mean that. Oh, it's interesting, the questions, why are we here? Why in this body? Why in this family? Why? Yeah, we ask that a lot. Upright, the Lovers speak of two energies, two pieces coming together to journey. It is reconciliation of opposites for a more cohesive experience. That's interesting. It's Gemini, twin energies. Is she seeing the other part of who she is, or is she seeing who she wishes to be? Yeah, that's interesting. Because what do you see in a partner as well? Someone who you want to be, or you found yourself in the other person? That's very interesting. The reverse is also interesting, because what you see is what you get, or so you like to think, but is it really? Mirrors are deceptive. Oh, interesting. They don't show a true double. Instead, they reflect back to you something similar but slightly different. And I don't know if you guys are reading this Card Leisure Pleasant series, but there is a spell in that you can cast on a mirror, and your mirror self can come out and live your life, and then when it goes back to the mirror, you know, it transfers back her memory. But as it's just kind of the same, because they are the mirror self, and the mirror self and the person is the same, but it's not exactly the same. So it shuffles overhand, come on now, nicely, but I'm definitely going to be very careful with the deck, because I'm quite worried that if once it gets bent by accident, it will just stay like that. So let's just see how 3 cards look on the table. Look good, right? I mean, in my this was just my, you know, first impression, but in my 6 months in video, I will pair the deck with others that I learned to use together, or that I wanted to use together, to see how they look. But the cards look nice next to each other, they're cohesive, so no, I don't think anybody would have a problem not getting anything out of the images. If you like the theme, I think you should get the deck, because the book looks like a very good one, even though it's bigger than it should be, because there's not as much text. And although I appreciate the amount of illustration in it, it might, you know, it could be maybe just make it a bit smaller and lighter, but you know, let's not complain about anything and everything, right? So yeah, this was my first impression walkthrough of the deck. I will post a flip through as well, so if you're just curious about the cards, you don't have to listen to me for an hour, you can watch that one. If you have it, which oracle do you pair it with? Because I'm quite curious. I have the Oracle of the Mermaids. This is also a new deck, and I'm planning on obviously pairing it together, but I have other decks as well that I want to try it with them, so I'm always open to suggestions. Thank you, really thank you so much for watching, if you endured the whole thing, and see you in the next one. Bye.